Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to talk about the third part of Buddha Dharma, pure and simple. These are the few chapters that we are going to cover: causes, conditions, and effects. The meaning of causes and effect, law of cause and effect across the third time periods, karmic rewards and retribution, and the last one is 12 links of dependent origination. Everything in this world is reliant on causes and supported by conditions to give rise to effects. These effects again become new cause, and when conditions aggregate, lead to other effects. Before a cause transforms into an effect, conditions are needed. Hence, it is called causes, conditions, and effects. Condition is uniquely Buddhism. You may have heard about causes and effects from elsewhere. However, in Buddhism, we have an additional element called conditions. A person can be without religious belief, but still must believe in causes, conditions, and effects. On your right-hand side is the ocean food web. In this food web, we can see everyone is dependent on each other for food and survival. Everything in this universe and life relates to one another. Every existence depends on one another for its causes and conditions. A person's existence is supported by other people, such as teachers, farmers, laborers, and businessmen who provide life necessities. As a human being, one should help all beings create good causes and conditions for success, instead of harming others or envying them. These are photos of Nanhua Academy, whereby we provide some basic computer literacy courses to the public. We hope to benefit these people so that they can upgrade themselves and become successful in life. Because one understands causes, conditions, and effects, one realizes that everything in life has its reason for coming about. In this way, one learns self-responsibility. When we truly understand this concept, we won't willfully say, "I don't care, I just do what I like." You'll be very cautious about every step, every action, because you know it will lead to certain effects. They can be wholesome or unwholesome. Causes and effects cannot be fully understood if examined only through a brief period of circumstances. Causes and effects stretch across the span of the 3 time periods, affecting each other's. The past affects the present determines the future, and the future will affect an even longer extent of time. Take plants for example. Sowing seeds in the spring and harvesting in autumn is the cause and effect in life. Planting seeds this year and harvesting next year is the cause and effect of the next life. Planting seeds this year and harvesting many years later is the cause and effect of many lifetimes. In daily life, sometimes we may think, I am a good person. I have done a lot of great things. But why bad things happen to me? Because the good things that you have done haven't ripened yet. It may take a few years, or 10 years, or even more. Wholesome causes are like savings money. One's merits will increase. Unwholesome causes are like incurring debts. One's merits will be reduced. Karmic rewards and retributions are like a bank account with a clear record of deposits and withdrawals. This bank account statement shows that on 12th of July, you committed 2 unwholesome deeds. This is automatically recorded in your account. Then, on the 16th of July, you did wholesome deeds, which is indicated by the green angel. On the same day, you also withdrew some unwholesome deed in the form of bad retribution. However, we need to take note. Wholesome deeds cannot offset unwholesome deeds. The only way you can prevent them is not to provide conditions for the seeds of these unwholesome deeds to ripe. Therefore, unwholesome people have yet to experience retribution for their actions because that time is yet to come. One cannot only observe the happenings of this life and presume that cause and effect do not exist. Sometimes we may be disheartened when we did quite a lot of good things and we don't see good results. We start to doubt ourselves. We start to doubt about humanity. It can be very disheartening, especially recently in South Africa. We face not only the pandemic, but also riots. If you were the businessman, you not only do business, but contributed certain portion of your profits to help the community. The looters took everything away. You may lose hope in humanity. On the other hand, if you read the news, you realize that there are still some good things happening. For example, there's a Facebook page called Rebuild SA Volunteers Group. They gather people to help to clean up the mall, repair, or donate. In Diepsloop, there is a community leader who urged people in Diepsloop to return things that they had looted. The leader gathered a few people going house to house to retrieve those looted items. I was really touched when I saw this news. These people show that there is goodness within us. It gives us hope and courage to move on during this difficult period. There is still hope in humanity. Even though one may yield back karmic results after committing wholesome deeds, worry not. For this, like repaying debts, once the debts are clear, effect from wholesome deeds will return like money earned. The law of cause and effect has its principles as well. For example, health and wellness have their cause and effect. To be healthy, one needs to maintain a joyful state of mind, lead a healthy lifestyle, and exercise. If one prays to the Buddha for good health while living an unhealthy lifestyle and binge eating, then it does not accord with the truth of cause and effect. Does this mean that I couldn't improve my current state? The past is in the past, and the future is yet to come. There is only the present moment, and the three time periods are all in a moment's thought. A single wholesome or unwholesome thought changes the cause and effects of the three time periods and the course of one's life. Therefore, if one wishes to change cause and effect or alter one's fate, the only way possible is to stay in the present moment. Be a thought of remorse, wholesomeness, compassion, kindness, gratitude, or reflection. A single thought is all it takes to transform sadness into happiness, hell into heaven, or a villain into a Buddha. There was once a gangster leader in Taiwan who did a lot of predatory lending and also owned a pawn shop. One day, his men told him that there was a lady who owed them $5,000 for more than a month and asked what should they do. The leader said, if she still doesn't pay that, ransack her house. Just before the men were to leave, a young little girl came hugging with a pillow. The leader thought to himself, oh, this girl might have lost her way. He then asked the girl, what are you doing here? The girl said, I want to sell this pillow because my mom owes others money. If not, the lender will harm us. The leader was very angry. He thought to himself, how can there be people who is so cruel? How can they want to do such thing to a little girl? So he told the girl, no worries, I will protect you. So he turned to his men and asked, who is the lender? The man replied, her mother is the one who owes us $5,000. The gangster leader immediately asked them not to go to the house and instead gave the girl $5,000 in exchange for the pillow. The little girl happily took the $5,000 and left. After this incident, the gangster reflected on how his actions have detrimental effects on others. He felt sorry and decided to quit. A person willing to transform one's thoughts knows to seize the present moment to cultivate the body and mind. One who believes in the law of cause and effects knows how to apply it directly to their daily lives. A thorough understanding of cause and effect and the purification of one's thoughts enable one to be fearless, positive, and optimistic, whether in the past, present, or future. One will not fear cause and effect. Hence, while a person may live without religious belief, he or she must not live without the belief in cause and effect. We move on to another new topic, 12 links of dependent origination. Human life spans across 3 time periods. Buddhism explains this process with the cycle of the 12 links of dependent origination. Ignorance, mental formation, consciousness, name and form, six sense organs, contact, feeling, craving, clinging, becoming, birth, aging, and death. Simply put, the endless cycle of the 12 links of dependent origination is what keeps one in the unending journey of birth and death across the 3 time periods. Ignorance refers to a lack of understanding in the truth of the universe and life, that all phenomena arise dependent on conditions, and that all phenomena are empty in nature. Rebirth begins with a single moment of ignorance, which then leads to the arising of mental formation through physical, verbal, and mental dips, followed by the rise of karmic consciousness. The concepts of name and form. While still inside the mother's womb, the combination of a name or mental function and form or physical function manifests in the forms of the 6 sense organs: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Once the 6 sense organs are formed, one is born. Upon the first encounter or contact with the external environment outside the mother's womb, through the 6th sense, pleasant and unpleasant feelings arise as a result. As such, desire and craving also arise, followed by attachment and clinging, that is, pursuing what one's like and rejecting what one's dislike. This in turn causes karmic effect, which result in further consequential karmic effects by becoming into the next cycle of birth, aging, sickness, and death. Such is life, a continuous cycle of birth and death. From these 12 links of dependent originations, over at this particular point, the consciousness, you see where the consciousness enter into the mother's womb when conception takes place. And then as the fetus start to grow, this is where your name and form. And next you have your 6 sense organs. When the fetus is fully formed into a baby, then it will be born. And after that, it will be having contact with the external worlds, and these contacts will create, of course, feelings. And after these feelings, this is the part whereby it's a very crucial part. We can stop this cycle. Feelings is something that is a past result. So what we can do is that we don't create new causes. When you notice your feelings, you stop at there. You don't have that kind of craving or aversion. You saw a scissors here. This is where you can do the part of cutting off the link. Let's look at the 12 links in another dimension. Ignorance and mental formation are the past causes. Consciousness, name and form, 6 sense organs, contact and feelings are present effects. Craving, clinging, and being are present causes. Birth, old age, sickness, and death are future effects. Hence, we can understand the 12 links through the 3 time periods. Let's look at some frequently asked questions. Where does life come from? Life comes from ignorance. Where does a person go after death? One becomes reborn according to one's karma. The law of cause and effect across the 3 times period suffice to answer the questions. There is no need to seek gods or fortune tellers, as this answer should be self-taught. Instead, one should ask, what actions have I done? What effects will they bring? The answer can be discovered through life experiences. Whatever seeds that are sown in the past, be it wholesome or unwholesome, will come into effect in the future. Therefore, true Buddhist practitioners understand that true reliance is found within oneself, that life is in one's own hand, and that we are the one who can determine our future.
Now we are coming to our Buddhist examinations, questions and answer. What process does the 12 links of dependent origination explain? The answer is cycle of birth and rebirth. The second one, in Buddhism, the consequences of wholesome and unwholesome causes and effects stretch across the 3 time periods from past to present, from present to future, and from future to beyond. The answer is true. Next, karma refers to bad actions which will surely yield results. The answer is false because karma refers to action. It can be good, bad, or neutral. Human life spans across 3 time periods, past, present, and future. Buddhism explains this process with the cycle of the 12 links of dependent origination: ignorance, mental formation, consciousness, name and form, 6 sense organs, contact, feeling, craving, clinging, becoming, birth, aging, and death. Which of the following is not correct about cyclic existence of the 3 time periods? The beginningless and endless flow of life, a punishment for our unwholesome karma, a continuation of causes and effects resulting from our karma, life process of formation, stability, decline, and extinctions. Well, in Buddhism, we don't talk about sin, we don't talk about punishment. It's all about our actions that lead to our current state. So it's not such thing as a punishment. Our life is destined by gods or deities. Our actions do not influence our life. The answer is false. We believe in the causes, conditions, and effects. Of course, we are not destined by gods or deities. And we can change our life. Like the gangster leader, he finally quit and no longer become a gangster. Cyclic existence offers opportunities for life to change and start anew. It allows the possibilities of realizing one's aspirations and atoning for the past mistakes. The answer is true. And again, the example I mentioned today is whereby he can actually remorse and then repent for whatever bad deeds he had done, and he turned over a new leaf. Okay, that's all for today's. Now is question and answer from the audiences over here.
See you next week. Bye.